And hello again, everyone. Welcome into this week's edition of Jacket Vision. We talk Oxford Yellow Jacket football with head coach Ryan Herring. The Yellow Jackets last Friday night defeated Gadsden City by a final score of 41-13 to improve to 2-0 on the season, with region play on the horizon this week. Joined now by head coach Ryan Herring to talk about the game. And coach, sitting here at 2-0 with two tough games on the schedule, you got to feel pretty good about where you are 2 weeks into the season.
I feel real good. You know, anytime you beat Gadsden City by 1 point or by ever how many, you're happy. And so it was a great win Friday night.
Let's take a look at the game. Offensively, you controlled the game running the football, which I know you like to do. You had over 300 yards rushing. Titus had 176 yards rushing. And it was just a dominating performance by your defense. They forced some turnovers, held them in check, just like you did against Hillcrest. So overall, on both sides of the line of scrimmage, it was a great game for you.
It was, and that's the thing about playing good defense. If you can play good defense, you're going to have a chance to win games. And you know, if we just don't shoot ourselves in the foot on offense, and there were some times where we sputtered a little bit on offense again Friday night, but we played good enough defense. They got us the ball right back. We made some adjustments, and you know, just got some things fixed like we needed. And next thing you know, you get a 2-touchdown lead. Then you just got to control the ball and keep playing good defense, and you're in good shape.
Offensively, you know, Abe had the bruised ribs, so I know you were trying to kind of game plan around that scenario. You threw the ball enough, had some effective throws in the game, but for the most part, your defense, the way they played, enabled you to kind of manage the game that way, didn't it?
Yeah, you know, we had our center, Trey Latham, was hurt. Abe was hurt. And so we knew, you know, there were some things that would be sketchy possibly for us Friday night. But the defense played well enough that we didn't have to try to put Abe in positions where he had to make throws or we had to run the ball. I think we ran him once or twice and didn't want to run him then, but, you know, they just were giving us a couple things we had to take. And, you know, we didn't want to throw it much just because we didn't want to take a chance on him getting another shot in the ribs. But when we did throw it, he did a good job of getting it to people where he needed to. And a couple times on play action, we got 2 touchdowns. That was huge. You know, and we didn't know going in the game whether he'd be able to throw a ball or not. So, you know, I'm just real proud of him, real proud of Trey Latham, because those guys, they were pretty banged up.
Defensively, that really is the story of the young season so far. I mean, you're giving up 0 points to Hillcrest, 13 to Gadsden City. That defensive bunch is really playing well right now.
You know, and 1 touchdown against Gadsden City was really because of our punt situation. We accidentally downed the ball. So really, I look at it like we gave up 1 touchdown to Gadsden City. So our defense is playing real stout right now. And, you know, the big deal is we got to get a little better each week. Just get a little better each week. There's always room to improve. You know, you can't worry about where you are now because it's where you want to be when you get to week 11. So if we can just do that and get better each week, I think we got a good chance.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and check out highlights from the first half of Oxford and Gadsden City as we continue here on Jacket Vision. And the Yellow Jackets back at home for the 2nd consecutive week, playing host to rival Gadsden City. Coach, great atmosphere. They brought a great crowd as well.
Yeah, it was a great night for football. And there you just saw us getting down good on kickoff. Here's Titus' first play of the game, about a 30-yard run. That was nice to see. That was a good way to start the game off right there. Here we are once again. They kind of played the play well, but Titus just found a little hole in the back door and ended up getting yards. You know, just a great job of having good vision right there by him. Here we are with the Q Power with Abe. We didn't want to run Abe, but you know, we just happened to be there because we thought the defensive end would take Abe. But anyway, here's play action right there. Hit to Corey Russell right there on a little power pass to the weak side, and they didn't cover him, so that was nice. Here we are back on defense. Shane Demon right there, number 9. He pinches inside, just makes a great play in the backfield. There we are. They do a good job right there. Look at there, there's Janito Allen with a big hit right there, doing a good job of coming out of a sink coverage. There's Titus right there, just running the ball great. Great job blocking. Man, we did some great blocking Friday night. The offensive line and running backs blocked for each other well. and there's just 8, 9, 10 yards. You'll see a lot of runs like that, if you watch the game. Big conversion right there on third down, hitting Gabe Webb right here on a little stick route. Here we are going back with a toss, and just, Titus is making a couple guys miss. But, those are big holes to run through the line of scrimmage, and that makes a difference. Here we go again. Good job by Titus finding that seam and hitting up in there. And most of these runs are 8 to 10 yards. Here we are, a little outside veer play and got in the end zone. Great run by Titus right there. He's tough to tackle, especially when he spins. It's hard to get a hold of him. Thought we had great kickoff coverage Friday night. That was one thing we harped on all week, because 22 right there was a great football player. There's Jordan Swain right here stripping the ball, and I think Fomby recovers. That's a huge play in the game. That's a backbreaker. It might be a game breaker, but it's definitely a backbreaker in that situation. And there's Keon about to break his ankle. Here we are in a little Wildcat. Not Wildcat, my bad. That's our fake field goal right there with Caden Higgins. We put it in this week. We called it Strawberry due to the color of his hair, and it worked well. They hit us right here, though. We knew we had to stop routes, and Seven's a good player, and we just kind of let him get out on the route free, and they hit us in a little hole shot right there. And then they gave 22 right here for a touchdown. We knew 22 was a load. We just kind of had a little mess up with the defensive end right there, ran upfield a little bit, but we got that corrected at halftime. But you've given up 7 points. That's not bad against Gadsden City, especially with all the talent they have. Here's Titus. I thought he was going to go all the way, and they said somebody ran in from out of bounds. I couldn't see it, but some sideline interference. But anyway, we don't get one in for half, but we're going 21-7, so we're feeling good.
And of course, we mentioned on last week's show they have a new coach at Gadsden City this year. Notice anything different about how they play scheme-wise?
Well, offensively with Matt Scott, they were a big outside zone team, and they were going to run it no matter what, and they did a good job of it. And I think this guy's a little more inside zone oriented, and with that back 22, whatever you want to run, you probably can run. So, a little bit different on offense. Defensively, they probably were a little more base defense oriented than they have been with Matt Scott. So there's a little bit of difference on both sides.
A lot of shots of that new scoreboard there as well. What do you think about that?
Well, glad to have one. Anytime we get anything new, we'll be happy.
All right, well, Oxford in control at halftime, 21-7. Second half highlights coming up. As we go to break, let's listen in to the Yellow Jacket Marching Band from Friday night. And we're back on Jacket Vision, 21-7 as we head into the second half. Oxford leading Gadsden City. Coach, you're receiving the second half kickoff.
Yeah, we don't do a real good job right there. They pin us back. And right here, I thought we had a play, but we had one guy kind of have a mental error. But right here, as you can see, is where we kind of hurt ourselves. Our punter takes a knee when he's scooping the ball, and give him field position right here on the 5-yard line. They walk in right here. So I'm a little worried at this point. It's 21-13 because Keon Fomby gets through right there and blocks. So it's 21-13. So I'm worried. I'm afraid they've regained some momentum. So we've got to get the ball and get first downs and get some momentum. We put Richard Cantrell in just to give Titus a little break, and Richard comes in, does a great job. Here he is right here on a little counter play and takes to the house. That's a good 1-2 punch with those two at tailback, I can tell you that.
Good answer to their score as well.
Yes, and it was a big-time answer. Here we are back on defense. Great job right there getting a tip. Kendall gets a tip, and Garrett Davenport does a great job of going up, fighting for the ball and getting the interception. Man, Garrett played a great game Friday night. Great game. Here we are with a little toss again. Titus just, he bounced it right there, and you got 15 yards. I mean, he just ate him up all night. We mix in a little fullback run right here. We got the big bruiser right there, Gabe Webb. I'd hate to have to tackle him if I was playing for Gadsden City, because he was running the ball hard Friday night. Give it to him again right here, and you see just running right through some guys. He reminds me of a 1950 Notre Dame running back. Here we are with a boot off the toss, and Abe gets around the edge guy right there and hits Corey for his second touchdown wide open. You think they'd cover a guy that's 6'3", wouldn't you? But they were more worried about stopping the run instead of covering people. Great job right here, Jordan Swain, being deepest guy on the field, making a great play. And for a second, I thought he was going to go all the way. If we can get to Nico Tanner to block for him right there, he may make it. But man, just very proud of Jordan and the way he's playing. Here we are again with just a lead play, and Cantrell just bangs it in there. Once again, a good little breather for Titus to bring Ricky in there. Great job right here by Keon Fomby stripping the ball. That was remind me of Quan Alexander. That was a great job of being able to play fast and make plays. And there's Cantrell right there on the toss. You saw him. I mean, he gets in that hole, and then he sticks that foot in the ground and gets north, and it's 6 points. And right now we're feeling good. It's 41-13, and we're starting to get happy about the performance. Now the big thing, we want to keep them out of the end zone. We gave up one touchdown we felt like we shouldn't have. So right here, we really want to keep them out of the end zone. And that's what you got to have. If you're going to be good on defense, you got to take it personal when people score, and I think our kids did.
And there you see the final score, 41-13. Boy, as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, to beat Gadsden City by a point is something in this rivalry. You don't see many lopsided scores like this with teams playing Gadsden City. Did you see some significant improvement from week 1 to week 2? Because the win over Hillcrest was mighty impressive as well.
Well, I thought offensively we stayed on blocks better, and we were a lot more physical. And we got that way in the fourth quarter against Hillcrest, but the first 3 quarters we didn't do a great job. But I thought Friday night, for 4 quarters, I thought we blocked well. And, if your offensive line comes off the ball and can play physical, especially having some quick little running backs like we have, we got a chance to be effective running football this year.
All right, let's take a look at the individual player awards from the win over Gadsden City Friday night.
This was a funny one. Air Jacket goes to Gabe Webb. He caught 2 passes. Racehorse, Titus Lindsay. Highest grade defensive line, J. Rock Swain. Highest grade offensive line, Clay Webb, who had 26 pancake blocks. Special Teams Award split with Caden Higgins and Keon Fomby. Fomby got the fumble recovery for a touchdown, and Caden did a good job of getting the ball off on some punts, and also scored on the fake extra point. Garrett Davenport, most hits. Garrett played an unbelievable game. Proud of him. Meanest Jacket, Clay Webb. 26 times he took a guy and put him on the back of his head Friday night. And I think some people are going to end up wanting to recruit him. I don't think anybody knows about him yet, but they're going to know about him.
Is anybody left that didn't recruit him?
Game breaker. We gave it to 3 guys who played hurt. Abe Peoples, Trey Latham, Keon Fomby. All 3 of those guys, we didn't know if they would play on Wednesday, and all 3 toughed it out and played. And we felt like that, those guys deserve that award. Takeaway award this week, got a tie, Keon Fomby with a fumble recovery and George Swain with the interception. Hammer award for big hits, Kendall McCollum had 2, Gabe Webb had 2, and Corey Russell had 2. Pride award this week, 2 guys that worked their butt off in practice and gave us a good look. Noah White and Peyton Howard, those 2 guys did an unbelievable job, and just proud of them.
All right, congratulations to those players for their performance on Friday night. When we come back, we'll have our player spotlight for the week and talk about the Yellow Jackets region opener as we continue right here on Jacket Vision. And we're back on Jacket Vision. Time now for this week's Player Spotlight. It falls on one of the key leaders of the Yellow Jacket team this year, defensive player and linebacker Brody Sire.
The Oxford Yellow Jackets have a standout on defense this season in senior Brody Sire. The inside linebacker has been playing football for the better part of his life and is one of those versatile players for the Jackets. Sire has moved around on the field but knows where his home is on the football field.
Sophomore year, I started at quarterback, but then pretty much all the rest of my career, I guess I played outside linebacker or some type of defense. Defense is where my home's at. So I'm not going to say I didn't like quarterback, but it wasn't my cup of tea.
The transition was easy for Sire, going from defense to offense, back to defense. Just like every other position, there's a lot of work that has to be done in the weight room to get better at inside linebacker. And Sire says not everyone can do it.
You got to have a mindset to be a linebacker, because linebacker and, say, corner, they're two completely different positions. I mean, you just have to have a linebacker mentality. So, and that, some people have it, some people don't.
For the Jacket corner, Owenson.
Well, Brody mentioned there in the package that he started off his sophomore year at quarterback, but said that wasn't his cup of tea. How many folks would rather go play defense and play linebacker than play quarterback?
Well, he he could throw a ball as good as anybody I've ever seen. But his sophomore year, he took a beating that will go down in history, worse than any heavyweight boxer probably. For him just to be alive right now is a miracle. But we just felt like defensively he could help us more because he can do so much in the defense we run. We need an outside backer on the weak side who can play on the line, who can rush the passer, who can drop in coverage. And he fits that bill more than anybody. And in our defense, we need that guy to be a playmaker. And he was the guy that we kept talking about that, we hate to move him from quarterback, but he can do this. He fits this job description better than anybody. And, and he does. And he was region defense player of the year last year. And, if we need him at quarterback, he probably could go in and play quarterback right now. And we'll probably start using him on offense a little more anyway in some other roles. But just an unbelievable player. Pat, his dad, has been a coach with us, and now he's working in Georgia. But so he's a coach's son, and anything he does, he's good at it. I think he's probably the best baseball player on the team. So it's when you got an athlete like him, it's a lot easier to be a good coach.
All right, time to look ahead to the region opener. The Yellow Jackets hit the road this Friday night. It's a little bit of a road trip as Oxford will travel up near Decatur to take on Brewer. They're 2-0. They played a couple of 4A teams this year in Randolph and Westminster. So, Coach, region games, kind of like the season within the season, and this is your chance to get off to a good start in region play. Talk about Brewer. What do you see on film?
Brewer is a lot like they were last year. They've got a quarterback who's kind of their playmaker, and they like to run him a lot and play action and just a lot of quarterback designated runs. So we've got to stop him. They got two big guards that are good blockers. Defensively, they're about the same as we were last year. They were 4-3. I don't think they've changed much. I think we have a speed advantage, so we got to take advantage of that. I think we definitely got more speed than they do. So we've got to find a way on both sides of the ball to use that to our advantage.
And I guess you'll have to pull out of Oxford pretty early to get there in time, right?
Yeah, it's a good 2-hour drive. Especially if you don't run in traffic, it's about 2 hours. So if you hit traffic, we may have to leave a little earlier than normal just to be safe. But I've never been there at all, so it'll be a good trip. It'll be a first time for me heading up there.
Well, Coach, safe travels and best of luck on Friday night, and hope you can capture that first region win of the year to go along with these two impressive wins to start the season.
I appreciate it.
All right, we'll gather again next week for all the highlights of Oxford and Brewer right here on Jacket Vision.